Well, hello, boys and girls, and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to talk about The Tear, Infamy from AMC. Alright, guys, so welcome back. I received in The Tear, Infamy, the second season of The Tear, which showed on AMC, and this is distributed by Lionsgate, who were kind enough to send me a review copy. And yeah, I was gonna do this after watching just a couple of episodes and give you guys just my initial thoughts on the show. But for one, the show was actually really intriguing, and I just kept watching it all 7 hours and 20 minutes of it. And secondly, I don't know, I wanted to give you guys my overall thoughts on the show instead of just a couple episodes. But yeah, The Tear, Infamy, like I said, the second season. I did watch a few episodes of the first season that are, they're out on the ship or whatever, out in the water. And it seems like that was forever ago, and I don't remember too much of it, but I kind of lost interest in it. I think it was moving pretty slow from what I remember. But I might go back and revisit it. This one moves a little bit quicker, but still a lot of dialogue and a lot of other things going on. Let me go ahead and read the synopsis to you guys. Wow, already screwing up words. All right, so in The Tear, Infamy, the second installment of producer and primetime Emmy winner Ridley Scott's horror-tinged anthology, World War II era Japanese Americans on Southern California's Terminal Island are menaced by a bakemono, or folkloric specter. Suffering forced evictions and imprisonment after the attack on Pearl Harbor, the Terminal Islanders are hounded by prejudice and injustice, as well as bad omens and bizarre deaths, as one of them, Chester, decides to take on the malevolent entity, journeying into realms of evil in both present and distant past. So, yeah, this chronicles everything from pretty much the beginning of the attack on Pearl Harbor all the way to ending with the bombing of Hiroshima. So you have that span of time in between those two events and a little bit of time before the attack on Pearl Harbor, before they're sent to their imprisonment camps or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so it's definitely based on, real events as far as, I guess I can put this down. Actually, I was going to do unboxing for you guys, so let's go ahead and show you that. You got a nice slip cover on here, and this is a 3-disc set. Comes with a little card here for something to do with Walking Dead, which I haven't seen in forever. But and then a Fear Fest on the other side. No digital code or anything, and no artwork on the disc. But they all, they don't cram all episodes on one disc or anything. Great quality overall. Audio video quality is excellent on this, and you guys can find this streaming as well. I know it's on Hulu. If you guys are kind of on the fence about it, but anyway, carrying on with the story. I kind of forgot where I was already. Anyways, yeah. So all the events between the Pearl Harbor and the Hiroshima bombing, and your evil spirit that dwells within, a shape-shifting entity, spirit, whatever you want to call it, that kind of embodies people who are threatening certain characters in the show, especially the Chester character, to be more specific, kind of protecting him as well as hurting others that he actually cares about. But yeah, you have George Takei in here, and you have C. Thomas Howell in here as well. C. Thomas Howell plays a real dick of a sergeant on this show, and he's one of those characters that you kind of love to hate, because he does such a good job in the role as Major Bowen. And you kind of like him at first, and then he starts to do some shit that you're not too fond of. So you kind of start hating him, but yet you like him at the same time because his performance is so damn good in this. Uh, yeah, he's definitely gotten better with age as far as acting, which he's always been a good actor. But anyways, George Takei isn't in it a whole lot. Just spoilers for you guys. Not gonna say exactly what happens or anything, but he is a consultant on the show as well, and it does give you some kind of background on some of the people involved with this show at the end of it. Like where they're from and everything, their Japanese roots and all that. But anyway, back to the story. You do have a lot of things dealing with family, your Japanese heritage, your kind of pride, things like that. It doesn't focus a whole lot on the actual wars, the war that's going on. It doesn't show like the attack on Pearl Harbor. It doesn't show the bombing on Hiroshima. It doesn't show any fighting during the war or anything like that, which is fine because that's not what this show is about. It's about this evil entity that threatens the well-being of people around this Chester character. It's like everywhere he goes, this presence follows him and everything, and has to do a lot with motherhood as well, and things that go on with that. I'm trying really hard not to give away like any big reveals or anything, but I was pretty surprised by a couple of events, a couple twists in the show that really threw me off. But you do have some issues to deal with. Like I say, try not to spoil anything, but you do have some issues that deal with like adoption and not telling certain people that they were adopted, and that kind of rebellion against you're not my parents type thing and everything like that. But of course, going over the hardships of what it was like to live in these camps that they were taken to, because they pretty much took anybody who was not, I'll say, not born, here in the States, and then they end up taking everybody with any Japanese blood in them whatsoever. But they kind of start out with the elders and things like that, and then end up, eventually sending everybody over there to these camps. But and they kind of have to make their own life, their own world within these camps. Their own, setting up the dinner table to your beds and things like that. They have to try to make it feel as much like home as possible. Your main characters in here are like fishermen and things like that. There's some parts that deal with being kind of self-confined and being in these prisons early on that are kind of like solitary, and people kind of losing their minds a little bit until they're sent to live with others, and kind of tortured, made they find out that they're fishermen, so they're made to go ice fish. They have no idea what they're doing because they're not ice fishermen, they're ocean fishermen. But the people in the military are kind of taking advantage of their power and kind of doing what they want to certain prisoners and everything. But like I say, you got a lot of love story in here, especially between Chester and I think her name was Luz or something like that. Between them two, and kind of decisions they have to make, and kind of them wanting to really just be together and escape all of this, and him wanting to provide a better life for her, and give her everything she's always wanted in life, and not really being able to, but kind of breaking a lot of rules and everything to try to give her these things. And then eventually he joins the military as a translator, breaking codes, things like that, and really helps the military out a lot, and finds a lot out about himself as well during this time. And he has a lot of visions, when they say journeying into the realms of evil, past and present. He has a lot of visions of things that happened in the past. He kind of travels to other dimensions, I'll say, and other parts of time. I'm not gonna say like a time traveler per se, but yeah, it's really well done. It's actually a really good show. Not as slow paced as you would think. Every episode kind of starts off with something really happening, and then it kind of like The Walking Dead did there for a while. I don't know if it still did. I kind of quit watching it after X amount of years. But you start off with a high point, and then there's kind of just dialogue, and then it ends with something else going on. But they're like 45-minute episodes, something like that. And they move pretty quick once it gets going, especially after the attack on Pearl Harbor. You really start getting more into it, and you really get invested into all of the characters in here. You really feel for each person and what each person is wanting out of life and wanting for other people and things like that. It's just, brothers looking out for sisters, or brothers looking out for little brothers, things like that. Yeah, it's just a really good show. It's probably one I never would have watched, honestly, if they had not sent this to me. But I'm very glad that they did. So thank you very much, Lionsgate, for sending this out. Because I'm really happy that I've seen it. And it makes me want to go back and revisit the first season to see if it picks up and if I'm more into it. You don't have to watch the first season, by the way. I only watched a couple episodes of it, and it didn't take away from this whatsoever. I really don't even know what the first season deals with, if it's another kind of evil that embodies people or not, but this is something completely different. I will say the very first scene of this show is a woman walking out on a pier, or boardwalk, whatever. I'm not really sure what it was, but and then just kind of like stabbing herself in the face. And that's how the show starts. So yeah, and then a lot of creepy moments, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's like a scary show per se. It's just a lot of unsettling feelings here and there. Not much in the way of gore or anything like that. There is some kind of a little bit grotesque, I guess, the way some bodies looked and everything like that. But I wouldn't say like very graphic or very gory. There's some parts where some of the Japanese want to take their own lives because it's part of kind of their pride, their heritage, to not fail certain things. And if you do, this is your consequence or whatever. You're going to be kind of like a looked down upon from your family or something. So they kind of cut open their stomachs, and you see like some guts come out, but it's not like over the top or extremely gory or anything like that. But I say very well done, very well acted, very well shot. I highly recommend this one, guys. If you're like a lot of people, and a lot of people I know haven't heard of this when I posted on Instagram that I got it in for review. So again, one I probably never would have watched had I not gotten it. But I highly recommend you guys check this one out, even if it means streaming it, whatever you got to do to watch it. But if it sounds interesting to you guys at all, I say definitely pick it up, and you're not going to be disappointed. So yeah, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I wanted to make it kind of short and simple, and I'm not going to go over what happens in each and every episode. I was kind of going to do an episode breakdown and watch a couple and then record some and then watch a couple. But I just wanted to give you guys an overall feel of what you're getting into. So I know that's what I'd want if I was a viewer. So I wouldn't want to sit here for an hour and explain each episode. So kind of giving you guys what I would want. But anyways, thank you again, Lionsgate, for sending this out. If anybody from there is watching, and I hope everybody's doing well. Until next time, guys, peace, love, happiness as always, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.